Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cap Social Network, aka Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the main reasons why today's modern black women suffer, or not really suffer per se, but are unsuccessful in being married and maintaining long term marriages, unlike how our grandparents or great grandparents may have been married. Even some of our parents that are married and have been married for 40 plus years, some as many as 50 plus years. Some of the main reasons why, and this is just from my perspective and my honest and personal opinion, one of the main reasons why, ladies, black ladies, is because you indulge in too much social media. Even from the time you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is grab your phone and look on your feed, whether you may be either your TikTok feed, your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, and on and on. Not all of that, but a lot of you, when you're not on social media at home, you usually indulge in it on your way to work, even on your way from work, while at work. While working, I know this may be kind of hard to explain, but I have seen it myself, judging from my very own eyes, how there will be women on my job during some of that downtime from working. Although I personally feel like phones shouldn't even much be allowed for people to use to have on them while at work, because you're supposed to be going to work for the sole purpose of doing your job, just to be able to make an honest living, just to be able to have money to make ends meet with. But today's modern black women just can't do without social media, much less smartphones. And that's one reason why so many marriages, so many modern day black women are unsuccessful maintaining long term marriages. Not only that, when they do decide to put down their phones to stay off of social media, they hardly ever have any conversations with their husbands. And when they do, it may be either good morning, good afternoon, how was your day at work. It's never a really long conversation that they usually have with their husbands. And not only that, but most modern black women, modern day black women, can't have a conversation with their husbands without getting an attitude over little or nothing. For instance, and like I just stated, their husband, after long days of work, they their husband could be at home after they may arrive back from work, and their husband may ask them after working 8 hours, or sometimes in some cases 10 hours a day, especially if she's a career or professional woman, how was her day at work? As soon as he may ask her, she may be like, "What you mean? What the hell you mean? How was my day at work?" Yada yada yada. I mean, so many modern day black women are always so on the defensive side, always have their guards up. That's another reason why always are giving their husbands, or not even guys that's not their husbands, but guys that may be at a local grocery store that may just be coming up to them and speaking to them, greeting them just by being friendly. They always have, for the most part, an attitude, a bad attitude, to the extent where that's why so many guys, so many black guys, don't believe in approaching black females anymore. Even on social media, some black guys have just completely given up on approaching black women, modern day black women altogether, due to their attitudes. Another reason why is due to the simple fact that so many black women can't keep their family members out of their marriages, out of their relationships, because how many fellas, for all you fellas that either may be married now or may have been married before, may be divorced, have walked in on your lady or she may have been your ex-wife or maybe your current wife, only to overhear her without even being nosy or inquisitive, talking to her mother on the phone, giving her all the tea about your marriage, you and your wife's marriage. And that's one reason why, another reason why, because they can't keep family out of their marriage, much less their business. And then that's also a main contributor of why people divorce as well, due to in-laws. How in-laws can always try to do all they can to break up marriages by always trying to be a part of a couple's marriage. I always wanted to know every single detail of their marriage. Other reasons why is because why you black women are so unsuccessful in maintaining long-term marriages. You can't keep your girlfriends out of your business either, because some of you women, black women, may go as far as telling your girlfriends all your business, including your sexual business as well. From when your husband may have done things, all kinds of sexually explicit things to you in the bedroom, to how much money he has in his bank account, literally, to other things such as things that how before he met you, he may have paid for sex. You just believe in strolling all your business, and you can't keep anything to yourselves, because another reason why black women, modern day black women, you're such failures at marriage is because you cannot keep your mouth shut. So many of you, and I do mean so many of you, aren't afraid at all to let the cat out the bag. And some of you will go as far as letting the cat out the bag, so to speak, even when you get around family members and your husband may attend family gatherings in regards to visiting your people, the people in your immediate families. Some of you will go as far as not only letting the cat out the bag, but by strolling all your business in your marriage, but embarrassing your husbands too. And that's one big contributor, is that you cannot shut up for anything. And the average man nowadays doesn't want a woman who's always running her mouth, much less always telling about your marriage, every single detail about both your marriage with him or your husband, either your current husband or your ex-husband. That's one of the reasons, to be honest, some of you are divorced now because you couldn't keep your damn mouth shut, for crying out loud. Other reasons why is because some of you cannot be faithful either. So even if some of you have been married for 10, 20 years, or were married for upwards to 20 years, from the time you first got married, you may have went as far as, before the marriage, having a bachelorette party, not even much revealing all the freaky things you may have done at that bachelorette party the day right before your marriage, your wedding ceremonies. And then to add to that, a lot of you always come into these marriages with extra baggage. For instance, you may marry a guy or have been married to a guy only to be divorcing him right now, who didn't have any kids at all, only to have to take on the role of parenting your kids and being a stepfather. Because the average man, and this is just from my personal honest opinion, without kids doesn't want to partake in taking part of another man's responsibility, taking on the role of parenting another man's kids, due to the all the headaches that it causes, all the drama that it causes, all the stress that it causes. But you women are so selfish to the extent that you expect for men to be able to deal with your extra drama and baggage anyway. And some of you would go as far as saying, if he can't accept your kids, then he won't be able to be with you either. Some of you are that bold and selfish both. And another reason why A lot of you black women, modern day black women, are so unsuccessful in maintaining successful marriages or long-term marriages because a lot of you can't cook, can't do any kind of domesticated chores, can't sew. In case it may come a case where your kids may need their clothes sewn. Instead, what do? You always look for the local seamstress. If not at a shop, then you may try to hunt for one in your family. And in most cases, it's always either your aunties or your grandmothers, if not your mothers who can't sew. You always look for the other this distant relative. I guess you could say either if not your mother, they won't be able to sew for your kids. It's always either your auntie or your grandmother, and if you may have a great grandmother, even your great grandmothers, because a lot of you are lazy. A lot of you just always want to have it the easy way. Don't get me wrong. You also want to marry. True enough, some of you, although according to both data and statistics, you're some of the most unmarried groups and races of women right now in the whole U.S., the whole USA. But like I was saying, hold on. Let me reconnect my microphone. And I apologize about that. A lot of you want to, true enough, the wedding ceremonies and want to spend so much money on a wedding ceremony, which will last one day, and go out of your ways to spend all this money on wedding cakes, dresses, having bridesmaids, and on, only to not want to partake in all the full responsibilities that comes with being a wife, being a domesticated wife that does choices, that cooks, that cleans. And I'm not talking about food, microwave. I'm talking about dinners from scratch. Some of you don't even know what it's like to pick up a physical cookbook, much less look at a recipe online on how to cook a meal, because with today's modern technology, you could look up pretty much anything as far as wanting to know how to do whatever, from cooking to sewing to cleaning your whole entire house. But a lot of you are so lazy and so entitled due to the simple fact that you're women. You feel like just because you're a woman, and even if you're married women, you don't need to do anything around the house, any partaking any responsibilities pertaining to being a wife. Some of you instead will prefer for your husbands to cook for you, cook meals, even if he may have came home after working 12 hours sometimes, and in very rare cases 14-hour shifts. You will also may want him to clean the whole entire house. If not that, may even want him to go as far as sewing for you, washing your car, whatever it may need a car, and on and on. Those are some of the main reasons, ladies, to my modern day black women, you're not successful in maintaining long-term marriages. And I'm going to close this video out, but before I close it out, make sure you first and foremost like the video, you comment on it, last but not least, you share it, and for the most part, more than anything, subscribe to the channel so my channel could get more recommendations. Goodbye.